Welcome back to New Tristram. Now, it has been a little while since we've been in the world of Sanctuary. I used to play Diablo 3 a heck of a lot, in particular when Reaper of Souls initially came out, as well as the original. I played the game a ton, and I even made videos for it. Some of you may remember that, but it's been a little while since I have played it, and the reason for that is quite simple, to be honest. There just simply hasn't really been a whole lot of new content to it. I've always really enjoyed Diablo. I thought Diablo 3 was an absolute blast to play, but ever since, the seasons have come out, we've, seen resets and we've seen some new stuff being added, but none of it is really big enough for me, to get back into the swing of things. However, as of a couple of days ago, there are some new exciting changes that have been made on the PTR of the game, because basically, like they announced at BlizzCon, they have remade a part of Diablo 1 back into Diablo 3. Now real quick, before we make our way to the dungeon, I have actually not played Diablo 1 or Diablo 2. A lot of people recommend them all the time to me, and I've tried making it work on my system, but it was basically just an absolute pain to try and make it work. But I do still remember, when I was much younger, it being my birthday or something, and me and my mom going to the toy store, right? I still remember me picking out the Diablo 2 box, and I had the box. I was like, Mom, I really want to get this. It turns out that my mom was like, she took like a second to look at the front of the box, seeing the character on the front of it, and deciding that I was not gonna get that, because it's basically Satan himself sitting right there in the front of the box, right? So she basically put it back, and I still remember we bought the GTA instead, which is arguably speaking a much more aggressive game. But I did not get the chance, to, at the very least, like I know a lot of people go on like nostalgia trips when they play these types of games, in particular like Diablo 1 and 2. I did not get the chance to play it back then. So today, we're gonna jump straight into it and see what is going on. So, we're currently in New Tristram. I got a character right here that I used to play a lot. I remember me playing the Demon Hunter quite a little bit, and I think in this particular case, this is going to be a seasonal character. We're currently on Torment 10, because I haven't actually played this character in a little while, and I'm not entirely sure how strong he actually is. I guess we'll figure it out together. I'm gonna be headed to the Old Ruins. Now, important to note, if you want to play this yourself as well, we are currently on Adventure Mode. And if you go to Act 1 Adventure Mode, and you go to the Old Ruins, you may notice right here, it has a little icon right next to it, saying the Darkening of Tristram, which is indeed what we are currently playtesting right here on the PTR. So it's not quite available in the live version of the game just yet. We are on the PTR, but let's head over to the Old Ruins. Now, I have checked really quickly whether or not, yeah, the portal is actually here. The portal is indeed here. And supposedly, this is what, will lead us into the dungeon. Now, in case you are, it looks like we are actually plenty powerful. I did pop a whole lot of cooldowns there. But in case you are unfamiliar, basically they have rebuilt some of the old aspects of like the old games into the existing engine of Diablo 3. And the only way we're gonna get there is by going through this portal. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna like get a whole lot of like, nostalgia type of things happening here that I personally won't recognize, but feel free to post them down below in the chat. I'm sure you can already see this portal right here looks a little bit differently. I'm sure that this is already something from the original Diablos, but anyways, let's head in. Alright. So one of the additions that they made is that we can't actually walk around in full 360-degree circles. Instead, we've got like 8 directions to walk into. More importantly though, the graphics are a little bit differently. It looks like we've got some different kinds of, UI elements right here at the bottom as well. And while we are still in the Old Ruins, I think it's time for us to start moving onwards. Now, we do still have our new, our new school abilities, I suppose. Not entirely sure if we're going to be looking for something. But apparently there's going to be several stages where we are going to be meeting different demons from the classic games as well. Now, of course, we haven't really seen anything just yet, but I guess we'll just simply follow the path. I mean, where are we supposed to head? I guess, ooh, alright, here we go. Alright, so we got Labyrinth, level 1, and there's actually a slain townsman right here who's going to be dropping me a double shot. Looks like the inventory is not quite stylized into the original just yet, but you can see my discipline and hatred does look completely different, and the UI definitely is different as well. Alright, let's go into the labyrinth. Level 1. Okay, so we are obviously running a pretty powerful character. It's definitely not as strong as probably some of you are running. I don't actually know exactly how this was meant to be played anymore either, but I have played it quite a little bit, and I think... Oh man, this is so funny. I think we're just simply gonna push slowly but surely onwards without really taking any kind of unnecessary risks. So we got Tumble right here on my Q. Basically, I can use that to dodge in and out real quick. I got my W ability as well. Basically, it's gonna give me some additional regeneration, so I can cast my right-click ability more often. And as you may have noticed, that one is really allowing us to get a whole lot of damage in. Now, obviously, these graphics are very reminiscent, right? I've seen a lot of people play, in particular, Diablo 2. Oh god, we actually just took a lot of damage there. I've seen a lot of people and friends of mine play Diablo 2. I just know that if you want to make it work on like a new school system, it's kind of a pain to try and get it to work properly. Anyhow, so we got a quest objective right here that is to slay the Dark Lord. Now, I'm pretty sure you could start a new character just fine as well. And you could get yourself, you know, a new character and just start playing this on the PTR right now if you want to. I kind of miss playing Diablo though, I'm not gonna lie. I used to play this so much and I really still enjoy playing it a lot as well. But it's just, there hasn't been really a whole lot of new things, you know? That makes any sense. There haven't just really been any additions to the game ever since, you know, really like the seasonal play got updated. I know they've made some minor improvements and all that, but not really like any kind of massive new content. Alright, I think we'll just head down into the dungeon here to the best of our abilities. Don't think, or doesn't look like we actually need to click on gold, which is fine. I know that's one of the features in Diablo 2 that a lot of people dislike. This feels very similar to the original dungeon though that we first run into when we get into Act 1 of Diablo 3, where you're going through the storyline of the game. Oh, it looks like we found our first, like, rare type of mob. We're just gonna start hitting him as much as possible. Basically, that purple right there has a chance of dropping all kinds of good loot. There are a whole lot of achievements as well to be gathered over here, by the way. We got a little bit of a friendly shrine, but really, I'm just trying to find my way towards the so-called Dark Lord. Now, I was actually at BlizzCon as well when they initially announced that this was going to be a thing. I was actually pleasantly surprised to hear how many people got super excited for, you know, playing Diablo. When, you know, when Frank Pierce came on the stage and he mentioned that they were going to be doing something like this, where they were gonna, you know, introduce aspects from the original Diablo games into Diablo 3. People were absolutely, like, absolutely head over heels. People absolutely loved it. Now, the interesting part is, though, that a lot of people apparently expected a full-on remake of, like, Diablo 2 or Diablo 1 to be, you know, completely playable. And it's not quite that, you know, so there is a little bit of disappointment on the internet. I guess it's easy to under-deliver, though, because obviously it has already been a very long time since really any kind of new content got added to Diablo. So, I've been looking around for a little while for the boss to spawn, and it turns out, when I opened the chat, I already killed the Skeleton King. I must have murdered him really quickly without paying attention, because I was too busy talking. Alright, so we're back at the old ruins. We got one portal right here for Tristram. I'm wondering if there's gonna be like a second portal and maybe like another couple of portals here as well. Not entirely sure, actually. Maybe we just need to go back into the dungeon and find if there's, you know, several other entrances, because it doesn't look like there's any more portals, at the very least, leading from right here. You know what? I am now back in the dungeon that we were in earlier, and I think I'm just gonna simply try and discover if there's anything else we can go to, because I know in total there's gonna be 4 bosses. There are gonna be 4 bosses, and we've destroyed one of them without even really paying attention, it turns out. Now, I did just find a dark passage, which is probably leading to a different place. Hey, we got ourselves a quiver. Sweet. Give me that quiver. I did loot, or I did empty my entire bag. There were a couple of legendary items in my bag. I was like, I'm probably not going to need that all too much, but actually, doesn't look like there's anything of interest over here that we really need to, look into right now. I'm gonna be heading back once again. Oh, I found him! I just found the butcher randomly. I did not expect the butcher to just randomly be in here. That's not good. That's not good. Don't break your gear, Lowko. Okay, so the butcher is pretty powerful, it turns out. We're gonna be able to do quite a little bit of damage to him, though. Oh man, good old butcher. We gotta be careful. I don't know if he's actually charging in the original version of the game as well, but it looks like we managed to freeze him in place just fine. And we actually obtained a new transmog called the Butcher's Cleaver. Huh. Now, it seems like I've discovered everything at the previous levels. The room that the butcher was in was the very final one, and I expected there to not be anything, so it kind of scared me. But I am assuming here that there's probably going to be a couple more well-known bosses in these regions here as well. This is where we originally went when we were first looking for the Skeleton King. And actually, we got the Labyrinth level 4. Huh. I don't actually know if like the dungeon that we are currently in, so like the Darkening of Tristram, if that is also going to be like custom made every single time we enter it, or if it's something, you know, that is sort of like pre-made. Could definitely be something that's just pre-made. Looks like we have found the Labyrinth level 5.
The smell of death surrounds me.
The smell of death surrounds me. Nice. I gotta say though, if this like this like plays absolutely smoothly. It's actually, I always thought it would be a bother to have only several, you know, walking directions, I suppose, but it really runs super nicely. Oh man, this makes me want to play the original games. I should probably try and figure out and see if that's something I can do. Man, these things have started hitting real hard though. These things have started hitting real hard. Ooh, another legendary. I've gotten a whole bunch already, actually. Gonna have to do a quick little, you know, loot check, I suppose, at the end of this dungeon. I know there are a couple of, like, unique transmogs and whatnot that you can find, such as, for example, the Butcher's Cleaver. There's a couple of other things as well, supposedly. The character, by the way, that I'm playing here is a full-on glass cannon. Like, I get hit very, very heavily, but as long as I've got the Marauder set right now, as long as I've got these turrets set up, we can nuke down pretty much everything in just a single hit. Ooh, Labyrinth level 6? Man. This one's actually going rather deep as well. I hope we're not skipping. Like, look at that. I died so very quickly. I hope we're not skipping another boss there. You know what? Maybe I should go back. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back real quick and like discover each and every part of it. Ooh. The Chamber of Bone. Well, if that is not something that has to do with a boss, I don't know what would be. We got an achievement just now as well. Visit the Chamber of Bone. Alright. There's like a whole set of like unique achievements for this entire event. It's actually really cool. I am not entirely sure who to expect over here though. I know there are bosses that are typical to the original games that are not added to Diablo 3. I know of a couple. But I guess we'll figure it out soon enough. Because this certainly does seem like a place where a boss would hang out. There's not really any kind of lore added to this, by the way, in case you are wondering. Haven't seen any kind of cutscenes at the very least just yet, or any kind of like real story-based aspects. Which is fair enough. Well, not a whole lot over here just yet. Huh, there's actually... Well, this is just the Chamber of Bone. I guess this must have been like a typical sort of chamber in the original... oh, there's a chest over here as well. In the original games. So I'm currently in Labyrinth level 7. The first couple of bosses we found in one of the first levels. But this one is just going on and on and on right now. There should be at least 2 more. There should be at least 2 more that we know of. I've encountered a lot of the yellows. We've gotten a whole bunch of stuff. By the way, besides like this dungeon, which is apparently going to be like a yearly event that will be available for only a little while every single year. They have also announced that they're going to be making the Necromancer class a thing in Diablo. Now, the Necromancer class is obviously also one of the classics. And obviously, you know, that's going to be something that a lot of people are looking forward to, but it's going to be a little while before it's going to be available. It's actually scheduled to be released, I believe, the second half of 2017. So it's quite a little way off. Ooh, we're now in the Hall of the Blind. Ooh, we can't see anything here. Look at that. Our viewing distance is really short. Oh, that's really cool. Not really something I, you know, like seeing all too much on this hero. Just because of how, you know, flimsy I truly am. I guess we're mostly navigating on the minimap and killing whatever we can find. There's actually a lot of dead ends in the Hall of the Blind. I'm trying to see, to the best of my abilities, where enemies and minions and whatnot are going to be located. There's going to be a big chest over here. And we got some legendary pants. Sweet! I'm assuming that that was the main reason why the Hall of the Blind is here. Although there's a little part right here leading towards the south as well. But no, really, that chest right there with the legendary or the set item, I suppose, was the reason why we were here. But look at that vision, though. I can barely see anything. That's so cool. Labyrinth level 10. Where are we? I mean, I'm assuming we're gonna be supposed to climb down, right? Oh my. That dude was real strong for, you know, just a mob. Just a minion. Okay, there we go. Got him down. That looked an awful lot like the Diablo 3 Diablo. I wonder what. Well, I mean, if it's a remake of the classic games, right? I was wondering what kind of artistic look I suppose we would see for Diablo. Level 11? For real? I've got so much left to discover. I hope I'm not skipping anything. But I wonder what kind of aesthetic Diablo is going to have. But considering this is going to be based off of the, you know, the original, I think it's a safe assumption to make that this is going to be very similar to what the original Diablos looked like. Instead of, like, you know, the female version, I suppose, of Diablo that we saw in Diablo 3. Labyrinth.
Getting close.
Labyrinth, level 13. Now my character is talking. He just said, it seems like we are getting close. It feels like we're getting close, something like that. So I'm assuming here that we are indeed on our way right now to the one and only Diablo. I have no idea how many levels there are. Level 15. Before you know it, we've got like 20 levels down and we haven't found anyone just yet. There has to be a bottom to this, though. There has to be a bottom to this dungeon. Obviously, that's part of Diablo, right? Just simply the grind. The unholy altar. All right. So I spent quite a bunch of time running down, but this place is a different name. I believe we were at like Labyrinth level, I don't know, far too high. We've been climbing down the dungeon in a little while already. But it looks like we have found the unholy altar. Now, I'm not seeing anything all too interesting just yet, but this does sound like a place where a boss should hang out. And every single time... Ooh! Ooh! Just did take him out there. Every single time. How did we even get through that wall? I'm not sure. Ooh, what's going on here? Anyway, every single time we got into one of the special rooms, I suppose, we got an achievement, and I didn't quite get that just yet. Oh. So wait, do we have to be teleported into the other room as well? I'm assuming the Book of Lazarus is gonna do exactly that. Yeah. That's a rough one, though, because I'm immediately... Alright, oh, man. I'm immediately caught right here. And Lazarus is doing a lot of damage. Alright, Lazarus, you're going down now. You've been doing a lot of damage, sir. There you go. You gotta dodge your abilities. There we go. There's apparently also a legendary. A hand crossbow. But right now, we're just gonna continue onwards? Lazarus, you were really powerful, though. I know you were one of the original bosses from Diablo as well, so you were actually the third one. But I was just checking out what the portal's name was. It says Labyrinth level 16. Now, Mr. Lazarus, though, did end up killing me a little bit too often. Not as, you know, not as often as I would ideally like it to be. But I think we'll just continue onwards. How many levels do you think we have to go? I think we just have to try and destroy as much as we possibly can on our way. Because really, that's what Diablo is all about. Murdering as much as we possibly can. Now, I can imagine, by the way, if you've never seen Diablo before, right, and you're looking at this... Oh, the Dark Lord! That's Diablo himself right there! Come out of here, sir. Look at him, there he is. But I can imagine if you've never played Diablo before, that dude does a lot of damage. But if you've never played it before, this may be a little confusing to see. We can quite easily nuke him down, though. We got a lot of damage. Oh, man. That's so cool. I love that they actually added in a cutscene. I had never seen that one before. I'm sorry, Sir Garage. I know you really badly want to die as well. There you go. There you go. But that is so cool. Oh, man. It looks like we have already managed to complete all the way to the very bottom of... we actually just now got a red soul shard right here as well. But we have made our way all the way to the very bottom of the labyrinth. And with that, we have practically already completed the event. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and return to town real quick. Be prepared for a bit of a switch in graphics. Alright, I gotta say, I do like this aesthetic a little bit better. I'm gonna get rid of all of the items that we had. Anyway, let's walk to the Book of Cain and identify all of the items that we found in the sanctuary. We got the Raven's Wing. Nope. We got Augustine's Bankia. I don't actually know if I know that one. Then we got Arkstone. Actually, that's not all too terrible. Sadly, Focus and what's it called? Focus and Restraint are supposedly really good. Now, this is going to be an ancient legendary. They're actually a little bit more rare. We got the Unholy Plates from the Unhallowed Essence set. And then we also actually got the Accursed Visage right there from the same one. And then also the Inanna's Spine. So all things considered, and actually we got a Wailing Host as well. So all things considered, definitely a very fun event. Like I said, supposedly this is something that will be live every single month. Or like for 1 month every single year to come. So it's gonna be pretty badass. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. A little bit of a nostalgia trip. At the very least, I hope that some of you may remember those times. And I really need to go ahead and check out the original game, shouldn't I? I mean... I'm a massive Blizzard fan. I don't see why I wouldn't. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you haven't already, make sure you like down below. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe as well so you get a notification as soon as I upload more. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as well. Links are in the description. And other than that, I want to thank you all very much so for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you in the next one.